Good afternoon, everyone. Well, Jordan, I tell you what, it's such a beautiful day here in South Alabama and Georgia, and we're right on the border between Alabama and Georgia, so that's why I like to call it Alabama and Georgia, because if you look right across there, that's Alabama.
There it is.
And if you look right here, we're in Georgia. But definitely love to come out on a good, cool fall afternoon, so we decided we'd come out to the land today and talk about a bait that we thought would work real well in the fall, and that we've talked about quite a bit in the last 6 months or so, and that being the toad buzz and the tour toad. And so we decided today to come out and share a little bit about it. We got a couple rigs we're going to run, let everybody see them live and that type of thing. But before we do that, let's get our weekly talk about clothing. I got the 800 hat on today. It's an OC solid black. This used to be my personal hat, and everybody liked it so much we put it in a line, and now it's selling. But that's my favorite hat to wear. I always wear the all black hat. So anyway,
Looks good.
Get you one of those. I think they're what, $17.99 or whatever.
Like that.
So anyway, check into that. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Talk a little bit about the toads. So today I have our tour toad, and I can show you in our hand. And there's several ways you can use this bait. You know, obviously we're going to show you two ways, but the thing I wanted to show you about it is that one of the nice features about it is you can adjust the flappers on it. You can pull it wide open, or if you want to leave it together, or if you want to pull it halfway. And now this is two of the new colors. This is a dirty snow, and this is a natural red. And the nice thing about when we get to the Buzzbait, you can put any of these on the Buzzbait, or any color tour toad that we have on the Buzzbait, whatever fits your fancy. You can match it up the way you like to. You know, so it's kind of neat when you use that. So let's take a few minutes and let's talk a little bit about. I'm gonna lay these two down and get them out of my way. First thing I thought I'd go over with is the Buzzbait today. Let's talk a little bit about the Buzzbait. I like to throw a Buzzbait myself on monofilament. I like to have a little stretch. A lot of people throw it on braid. That's kind of, I think, what's up to the beholder, you know. That's kind of how I like to throw it. I usually throw mine on 17-pound mono, and that's just the way I've always thrown it. But anyway, if I can get it loose here, it's gonna give me a hard time. Here's our tour toad buzz. Now, one of the things we talked about that's nice about this bait is you can adjust it. And I'm fixing to show you, we're gonna show that. So for that, let me just go ahead and get this thing out in the water, and let's talk a little bit about how it works. Now, it has a great casting reel. It will throw forever. It throws real well. I'm just gonna try to pitch it out there where everybody can see it. And then, as you can see, it makes a real good clack and has good action. I'm gonna go ahead and get it further out. And now let's take a look at it coming back in. And as you can see from the action, you can run it fast you want to run it, or you can run it slow. I personally like to run one kind of slow.
Okay.
I don't really like to rip a Buzzbait. Now, some people do like to rip a Buzzbait, and you know, that's kind of, once again, up to the beholder. But if you want to walk down the dock there, Jordan, let's get a little closer look at what we're talking about. Maybe I can do this without backlashing the reel.
Let's see.
Let's just get an overview of what that thing looks like in the water. But you get a lot of good action with this bait, and it works really well. Need to try it if you haven't tried it. Excellent action. Fast or slow, speed it up. You can do whatever you want to do with it, but works really well. And that's the color for me right there, that watermelon red ghost I've got in my hand.
Let me see it.
That's the one I kind of like. It's got the silver pearl bottom on it. It's got the watermelon red top on it. Seems to be my favorite color of the bunch, but that doesn't mean anything because there's lots of good colors there. That a lot of people tell me the hematoma one does real well, the black and the white. So you can kind of choose. But anyway, tour toad buzz. Now, one thing I do want to show you about it, the way I've got it adjusted right now, as you can see, it's clicking the shaft. And if you don't like that much noise, you can this thing has a soft wire, so you can bend it and throw it without. And let's make a cast with it without it bent down, and show you that it basically doesn't make quite as much noise, but still has that same action. And the nice thing I like about this Buzzbait that nobody will mention about one, it comes up really quick. Time it hits the water, you've got it back up and you're making a retrieve. You know, a lot of Buzzbaits hit the water and they fall in the water, and then you got to wind hard to get it to get up to pop up. This bait just comes right up instantaneously and begins to start clacking and doing its job. So anyway, if you hadn't tried one of them, I highly recommend. We do have them in stock right now. We hadn't had them for a while, but we do have them now, so you need to order one while they're available, definitely.
Okay.
All right, the second thing we'll look at today is the tour toad. Now, I like to throw a tour toad on braided line. preferably like 50-pound braid. Something that's, especially if you're like throwing in a lot of grass in the pads, that heavier braid will cut that pad stem. So as a result, you don't have as many pull-offs because of the weeds. And of course, obviously, you rig it with the hook, skin hooked right along the top there. And then you get this set up, and you can do the same thing. You can tear your legs apart or not tear your legs apart. Once again, we use a watermelon red ghost, okay? And there's like, I think 12 or 13 colors in it, so you can choose. Of course, obviously, most people use the old proverbial black and white. They're like the top 2 sellers.
Right.
But I kind of like this watermelon red ghost. I've done real good with it. And we can throw it, and as you can see, it makes real good noise coming across the top of the water. And sometimes they preferably are like this over the buzzbait.
A little bit more subtle.
Crazy. It's a little more subtle.
More
it
weedless.
comes through the grass real easy. It's great. What makes me sick standing here, we're at Cool Branch Landing on Lake Eufaula. This bank right here used to have a grass line all the way out to the deep water out there on the end. It was dynamite. I've caught 3 or 4 8-pounders on this bank over the years, and the Corps engineers decided to spray and kill it all. So, it just makes you sick. Knowing how many fish I've caught right here where we're standing, and we can't no more. But definitely take a look at this bait. It really works well in the grass, and it looks good. And you can match a color to what you want to match it to. And that's another option. If you don't want to pull it on the buzzbait, you can pull it the way, just straight. Let's get a picture over the top of it if you want to.
Yep.
We'll go down the dock here with it. Let you get on top of it like we did last bait. That way they can see the action of that bait. Definitely something I put in my arsenal. And it will catch fish, I promise you. I guarantee it.
So tell me about the hook that it's on. How do you rig that?
I got that. I like to rig that on like a 5/0 wide gap Gamakatsu hook. And I like the regular, not the super line, just the regular worm hook, because that super line sometimes don't want to pull through the plastic.
Okay.
So kind of give them an idea of the hooks in it, the wide gap. I'm gonna pull it off of there. See your wide gap hook works just really good pulling that on top. You don't have many misses. Sometimes they'll hit it short, by the tails. That's usually a smaller fish, but when a big one's around, he'll gobble it. So something to think about. But
so
that's
no
kind
weight or anything.
Huh?
No weight or nothing. Just
don't need a weight. It's heavy. It throws well, and that takes me back to what I probably should have brought one of them today. Our old top toad that we used to have, which you still can get it online. It throws even better. It throws further, and it's heavier. So if you want to get more out of your cast, you can go with that, and that's another option for you. But any of those frogs are really good, and the fish are starting to gang up in pockets like this right now. It's in the fall. There's them shad blow back in these pockets. The fish are gonna come in here, and this is just a great place to attack them in shallow water in the fall of the year when the water's cooling down. So food for thought. Questions? We got any questions on there today? Anybody talking to us? Well, we hate that, but anyway, that kind of gives you a good idea of our 2 top water baits I think are good in the fall, and basically give them a try, and we'll see y'all next week.